this is Inga. Today I am finally going to be making some scallion pancakes at home. I know a lot of you have been requesting this and I have also been craving this. There are a lot of ways to make scallion pancakes. I think different regions have their own interpretations and preferences. The one that I will be making today is a modification of my grandpa and my mom's recipe. I tweaked it a little bit because I like my scallion pancakes a little on the thinner side with that chewy QQ texture, but still with a flaky crust. So let's get started. Over here I already have my flour measured out. It's around 2.5 cups, and I also have some hot water and some room temperature water. I like this combination because I feel like it gives me the texture that I like. I'm going to add my hot water first and then keep mixing it while I'm adding it in. The hot water also makes the flour very, very soft. Once the hot water has been added in, we can add in the room temperature water. I remember my grandpa doing this a lot. I would just like stand next to him. I was about maybe like this tall, you can't even see me. I would just stand next to him and pester him. Also, before I forget, I'm just gonna add in some sugar and salt. This is around 1 tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna go in with my hands now, squish that together. Kneading is one of the most time-consuming things, but I also think it's the most rewarding. Also want to make sure that there's no more flour sticking to the sides of the bowl too. That's when you know you're on the right track. I feel like I've just been doing a lot of like dough ball stuff, but this is what we have right now, and we're going to keep kneading it a little bit more before we let it rest. Knead it on my cutting board. It should feel very, very soft because of that hot water that we poured in. If it helps, you could count to 100, like you want to knead this at least 100 times. Hopefully that makes the time pass a little faster. This is my dough right now. It's still not perfectly smooth, but we're gonna let it rest for a little bit. Put it in the bowl that we used earlier. We're gonna just cover it with a wet towel and then let it rest for around 20 to 25 minutes. So while we're waiting for the dough, there's 2 things we should do. One would be to chop up the scallions, and 2 would be to make a sort of roux that we want to paint onto our scallion pancake dough. But first, scallions. And I have a lot here because I like having a lot of scallions in my scallion pancake. Cut off the butts here. I've got this little bag going on of just like, you know, the odd bits and ends of vegetables that I have. So I'm just going to toss these in here so then I can one day make some really awesome veggie broth. Back to the scallions. I am just going to also cut off most of these white bits. These have a lot of flavor, so I'm still going to put some of these in, but for the most part, I like my scallion bits to be like that like vibrant, beautiful green, so we're going to use most of that instead. And then I can save these for my other dishes. And then over here on my stovetop, I am going to make the roux, which is pretty much just some flour and oil. Adding in 1/2 cup of flour, 1/2 cup of oil. And I'm gonna turn the heat on. I know it doesn't look super appetizing right now, but we're just gonna mix it gently, enough for it to combine. So this roux method is actually something that I didn't used to do. My family pretty much just uses plain oil as it is to put on the scallion pancake, but my friend Eric, who is a pretty amazing chef, he does this with his scallion pancakes, and they always come out extra flaky and crispy. So I gave it a shot, and I think it is totally something that we should be doing too. So credits to him for this little tip. Once it looks around like this, and you can kind of see the bottom of the pan, you know, when you like scrape through it, then I think we're good. It has been, I think, over 25 minutes now while I was prepping everything, and we can check in on our dough. You can feel that it's a lot softer now. I scoop this little guy up. It is very, very soft now. I'm going to dust our work surface here, and we're just going to roll out this dough so then we can divide it up into little portions. How many pieces you want to divide this up into really depends on you and how big you want your scallion pancakes to be. For today, I think I'm gonna go with 5 pieces. 5 balls here. I'm gonna set these to a side and then work on this baby first. Squish it down gently, and we're gonna roll it out to as thin as we possibly can. look at how thin this is. Face mask. Don't do that. All right, once it's around this thin, I am going to paint on our beautiful roux. It is this beautiful consistency right now. It's cooled a little bit. Just go in with it. Making sure to cover every single bit because this will help the scallion stick. Don't be shy is what I always say. Looks about good. It is time to make it rain with some scallions. Ooh, I can smell the scallion. Scallion smells so good. I like it when every single bite has a lot of scallions. I love scallions if you haven't noticed that yet. And then I'm also gonna add some 5-spice powder because I like the taste it gives. And then this is the fun part. We are ready to roll. Make sure all that goodness is tucked inside. Gently peel up these corners and roll it in. This is actually also what we did when we went to that scallion farm with the Worth It crew. And I personally think this is the most fun part of scallion pancake making. And there we have it. Here's our little scallion pancake dough. And once we reach this point, what I'm gonna do is actually roll it one more time. Take the edges here, which you can see is already sealed tight. And I'm gonna roll it on top of itself, just like that. So this is what our little baby scallion pancake kind of looks like right now. It's like a little pinwheel cushion. All the sides are pinched together. It's okay if there's holes in it. Gently squish it down. We have our first scallion pancake dough. What I like doing now though is to just sprinkle some flour on another plate, put the dough on there. And as I'm letting it rest, I just like putting a little bit of oil on top. That's what my grandpa used to do. Just a thin layer and just let it sit a little bit while we work on the other one. Now that all my scallion pancake dough is done, they've been sitting here for a while. Here, we're missing one because I couldn't fit it on my plate, but it is time to roll this out before we fry them up. I'm gonna take the first one we made and we're gonna gently roll it out. The key here again is to try and roll it out as much as you can, as thin as possible. I maybe went a little too crazy with my scallions, but that just means it's going to taste really good. I'm barely holding on together. Once it's spread out thin enough, we can fry it out. Adding a generous amount of oil. Then I just went ahead and added my scallion pancake in before the oil got too hot so the scallions won't burn immediately. And now we're just going to wait and inhale this nice fragrance of scallions. It smells really good. I always kind of just eyeball this part, but basically once it's golden brown on one side, I flip it, and then once that side is also golden brown, then it is done. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Ready, I also like trying to floof it up a little on the sides. It's okay if it breaks apart. This kind of helps make it even fluffier and crispier and flakier. All right, now it's pretty much done. I'm gonna transfer it over onto some paper towels. And here it is, our first scallion pancake. Because it's so thin, it doesn't take too long to fry. Can you hear? It is very, very flaky. Doesn't it look like the ones that you see at restaurants? It's that beautiful golden color, and you see all these like crispy bits. This is the kind of style that I really like. I like to floof it up a little bit. I am very excited to try this, and I'm just waiting for it to cool down a little bit because I don't want to burn myself. Also, just as a quick tip, this is how I like storing my scallion pancakes. I like to roll them out on parchment paper, kind of just stacking it on top of each other, make sure it doesn't stick. Then I just get a Ziploc bag and then put our little package here right into the baggie. That's it, super easy. All right, now for my favorite part. I want to try this flaky one first. Oh my God, I didn't even really have to do anything and it's already coming apart. This is already what it's like. It's so flaky and it still has that chew to it, which is what I love about scallion pancakes. It's almost like a Chinese croissant and it is incredible. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. It always means a lot to me being able to share these family recipes with you guys, especially ones that I like grew up eating my entire life. So do give this a try. I feel like a lot of you will because a lot of you have been waiting for this, but I'm excited to see your results. And I will gladly enjoy my scallion pancakes now. See you guys next time. Bye.